I want to sleep so that in case I can do that show.
So, which show? Which show are you doing?
One Instagram live show. Is an external person. So cancelling, I don't know, maybe somehow.
She have told me that people going somewhere.
By 12.
Yeah. But you said by 12. You said 2. It's 12.
And Instagram live.
I'm waiting for you.
Instagram. Also, I feel it's always slow. Okay. An excellent morning to you from Lagos, Nigeria. Abariza Asubuye. Bonjour, Africa. Comment vous allez? We are here live on your favorite radio show, Mind Connect, a space where we expand, empower, and excel from within. My name is Oladele-Ilori, your host on the show. I'm the founder of Within Network, a social enterprise that advocates for equity within and across both genders. We are particular about the character and social intelligence of the boy child. We leverage the ethos of SDG 4 and SDG 5 for our advocacy and services to the community. It has been a rather challenging week here in Lagos, Nigeria, especially with the several unpleasant events that continues to unfold. Of course, the end is not in sight concerning the death of the 12-year-old boy who was allegedly tortured by senior students at Dowen College, which eventually led to his death. There are several other allegations and revelations, but all of it are under investigation. But most interesting feelers that I'm getting, because I got several calls during the week, asking so many questions because of the kind of things we do. Of course, most parents, especially parents who have children in boarding schools, are worried. They are so worried about what to do. They are confused. They don't know as school closes for the Christmas holiday. They are wondering, should I withdraw my child from the boarding school as a mitigation strategy to the many risk factors highlighted in the boarding school. There is a hot debate between the day school and the boarding school, as so many people, so many parents of day school continue to accuse parents of boarding school students of outsourcing parenting, while those who have their children in the boarding house have their defense line against the parents in the day school, saying that they also believe that most parents of day students are mostly unavailable. They also leave their children by themselves or in the hands of third parties such as house helps, extended families, neighbors, who are also predisposable factors to such issues such as bullying and abuse. I ask you today, between the boarding house and the day school, which is your preference? Which option would you say represent the choice of a good parent? There's a third group, the outliers, who are claiming and clamoring for an option not so popular but becoming mainstream, which is homeschooling. The type of situation that we had during COVID, where teachers come online to teach students virtually, or also these parents may hire private teachers who come to the house to teach their children in the confines of their home. Some parents themselves take up this teaching responsibility of taking their children through the curriculum they believe is required for them to get by in life. Of course, yesterday I ran a poll on my LinkedIn page, putting these three options and asking parents and people, in our circle of influence to highlight which option they preferred. This is how the voting went. 60%, as at this morning, around, I think, 60% preferred boarding schools, 20% voted for day school, and 10% preferred the option of homeschooling. Just to put it in perspective, Day schools are schools that students go to at a particular time of the day and return home. Day school could be morning school, could be afternoon school, evening school, depending on, you know, the choice of the parents and what is available within their area. These day schools are available to nursery pupils, primary school students, secondary school students. What appears to look like a day school design in the universities are students who go from home, or non-resident students who stay off campus in the university. Boarding schools, on the other hand, are learning institutions where students are resident within the school. This could provide accommodation, facilities, hostel, dining, or health bay, worship centers. I mean, I think the basic difference between a boarding house and a day school basically is the residence, the fact that they provide hostels where students live. Yes, there are private boarding houses available to young children, nursery, primary pupils. Don't be quick to condemn these parents, because sometimes if you have a situation whereby a spouse is ill and the available spouse has to work and is overwhelmed and they do not have family support, they may have no other option than to go for that option of a boarding house, even for young children. The third one, which is less popular, and I say it's gradually gaining, homeschooling, which had 10% votes on the poll we put out, is children are not allowed to leave the confines of their home. A school structure is built within the home, and teachers come to the home to teach. Why do people adopt different schooling methods? For parents who are available and who have flexi work hours, or who have a reliable person at home to watch their children, by all means, you can adopt a day school as an effective option. There is nothing wrong in a parent sacrificing their career for their children if they are happy doing it. The second option, if you have parents who work a distance from home, who have heavy work-related travel and high demanding career, a boarding house is a strong consideration. Please don't come with the excuse that at least one of them can sacrifice their career. Every human deserves to be happy. Our definition of happiness varies from one person to the other. Individuals have dreams and aspirations. If both parents decide to fulfill their career, they can adopt the boarding house system. I mean, there are parents who are doing school runs, who are at home, who are not happy doing it. So whatever option, if you know you require a boarding school facility, by all means, go for it. In case of homeschooling, sometimes parents have challenges with finance, or sometimes children are ill and they have to adopt that homeschooling method. Every option has its consequence. Every choice has its consequence. In season 1, we dealt with boarding house and day school, interestingly, and we highlighted some of these issues that are coming to fore, even at that session. So I mean, let's emphasize the fact that boarding or day, there are standards to watch out for when you are picking a school. We, however, emphasize that children with bad behavioral tendencies should not even be put in any school, whether day or boarding. There are facilities where this kind of children can receive therapy if their behaviors are so undesirable. So we have a situation where most often than not, boarding houses become a jumping ground for children whose parents cannot handle. Children who are sometimes supposed to be in remand homes, correctional centers for juveniles. They take them to the boarding house, dump them there, just for the teachers. I mean, these challenges you face at home that you can't handle is the same thing the teachers will face. If you cannot handle it, what gives you the impression that the housemaster will be able to handle it? What gives you the impression that a teacher will be capable of handling that? I will share some short stories just to put it in perspective for people who are still comparing day school and boarding house. The story of a boy who visited a girl at home. So this is a day student whose father drops her every morning in school. Once the father is out of sight, by 9, she's out of the school. She goes to visit her boyfriend, somebody who is a bit older, who is at home. She leaves the school and goes to visit him. The first visit, she went in her school uniform. The mother of this young man happens to be at home. She challenged them And, they gave excuses. Oh, she came to learn some things, etc. By the second time she was coming, she had a mufti on her uniform. Went there. Interestingly, she met the mother again, who was confused. You're supposed to be in school. If you have to learn anything, your library is there. By the third visit, the woman placed a ban never to see her again in that house. This is a young girl who leaves the school compound, a day student, to visit a man during the day, not a boarding facility. I'll tell you the story of another day school, where a young boy is dropped every morning by the mother. Once dropped by 7, older students who are senior boys lure this boy and ask him to perform oral sex on them every morning. This is a day school, not a boarding house. These are real stories. They ask for blowjobs from a young boy, a boy in junior secondary school every day. It took this boy a long time to confess to the mother. Is this a boarding house? Let me give you something that may look unrelated, but very, very descriptive of the kind of parenting we have. A mother and a son walking on the road. The mother had a bottle of Coke, the boy had a bottle of water, or a bottle of juice, whichever way. They were both holding a bottle. The mother finishes her juice, trashes the bottle on the road. The boy also finishes his water and trashes the bottle on the road. What are we teaching our children? Here we are, 16 days to Christmas, a season where God gave us the best gift, which is Christ Jesus, who gave his life for us. Today we are discussing boarding school, day school. Are boarding school really bad? What gift are you going to give to your children at this season? Are boarding school really bad? Are day schools better options? Should parents adopt that homeschooling method where they take their children completely out of the social circle? Whatever schooling option you adopt today, what are the standard metrics for picking a school? What are the standard metrics for picking a school? The first focus when you want to pick a school is quality education in a conducive and safe space. In a conducive and safe space. Now, quality education is not limited to academics. Physics, chemistry, biology, sciences, mathematics, and etc. At We Lead, one of the things we discovered was the huge gap in character education. I was at a meeting during the week where a lot of parents and teachers met discussing, and that video is all over the place, by the way. Nobody mentioned character education. There's a lot of things that people mentioned. Nobody really mentioned character education as a missing link within our education system. Nobody mentioned character education as a missing link in our parenting journey. The real problem is not the type of school, whether homeschooling, whether day school, or the boarding option. The real problem is parenting. Bad parenting. There are so many things that happen in the home that goes to the school with the pupils. There are so many things we do wrongly that students take to their learning places, whether day or boarding. What are the real options? The real option is parenting. Do we understand parenting? Are we doing the right job? Some people will say, oh, bullies. And I asked the question last week in a post. Are bullies from Jupiter or Mars? Are bullies from another planet? Bullies are raised at homes. Homes resident in your neighbors' houses. But it's not just bullies that are raised. Are you not also raising a dunce? Are you not raising a liver child? A child that cannot face is fair. A child that is afraid to talk. What kind of child are you raising? What kind of child are you parenting? It's very easy for us to say, oh, it's the school. Yes, the first point of action for us is parents. Whatever products you produce in your home in terms of children is what you take to the school. And that's what the school starts with. What are you sending to the school? The school will only provide an enabling environment for your children to thrive. This enabling environment can then be toxic or can be positive. But by all means, what product are you taking to those schools? What have you given them to undo? By the way, I went to a boarding house. I went to a boarding house, and I would do it over and over and over again. Is that an option I regretted? But were there bullying? Yes, there was bullying. There was bullying. Maybe not as terrible as what we have today, but there was bullying. But would I say boarding house is a bad option? No. Yes, we've been talking boarding school or day school. And today we'll be directing some of our solutions to the fathers. Dear fathers, boarding school or a lot of people. Thanks for joining via Instagram. Thank you so much. Dele Bakari for joining. Adetayo, thank you so much for joining. These are testaments of boarding schools. I mean, boarding houses, create that strong bond. Some of the best friends I have today, I met them while in school. And of course, because we lived together, not just going home after school, we had better bonding. Thank you so much for joining. And Kaide says the home is no longer what it had in those days. We are chasing our respective careers with no quality time for our kids. Excellent. True. So you can imagine if you have a child in a day school and you don't have a time for that child. What is the difference between you and the person who has taken the child to a boarding house? I would even sign up for a boarding house if you know you don't have the time. Please take your children to the boarding house where they are, where you know that there are professionals who can take care of them. Now, the decision is for you, and the option is for you to look for the right school. Use the right metrics to measure your choice of school. It's 16 days to Christmas. Thank you so much. Adekwetsun, Pastor Daya, thanks for joining. So our boarding house is really bad. Are day schools better? Should we adopt the homeschooling as an option to mitigate this risk? The issues that I see, boarding or day, who makes the choice? Let me be honest with you. When you are taking your child to the boarding school, because of the kind of situations we have now, you must involve your child in the decision of picking a school. If your child says, I don't want to go to the boarding school, please do not force them. Do not force them. There may be reasons why they don't want to go. Another reason is not every child is fit for a boarding house. Not every child. Not every child is a candidate of a boarding school. Some children are not prepared. They're not mature. Some are underage. Some are not prepared. A child that has not started washing his clothes from home, you want to take such a child to the boarding house. A child that is not independent to give himself a bath, comb his hair, have his personal grooming without being pushed. That child is not ready for a boarding house. Bad parenting is not only parents that bring up bullies. There is also parents who bring up dons. If you are raising your child, are you raising that child? Are you equipping that child to be able to speak if there is an issue? Is your home a conducive place to return to? If they run into problem, do they have an admin at home? Can they return home to talk to them? Do you know that people are bullied at the university? I was bullied at the university by students who were in higher classes. We shared the same room. And it took me standing up, facing them squarely and saying, no, I won't take this bullshit before they got off my back. So bullying happens at work, at school, at everywhere. So are you prepared? Is your child ready for a boarding house? You must ask that question. Not just for you to make that choice, you must take the choice, make the choice with the consideration that you need it, your child is ready for it, your child is prepared for it. You have raised a child who can stand on his feet to say no to bullying, and you have raised a child who is considering not to bully others. The second thing is gender equality and gender equity. There is an imbalanced focus on girls. We continue to talk about it as we lead. That is our passion. We focus on boys because we see the gap. We see the huge gap when it comes to focus on girls. Why are we not focusing on our boys? Do you know that there are a lot of things going on with the boys? Have you been to the correctional centers in Lagos? And even in Nigeria, the places are filled with young talents who have been conditioned to stay there, maybe because they committed murder, they raped, they stole. Yes, I'm telling you, from age 11 to about 18, these young people are there. We work with them every day. Why are we so focused on girls? Why can't we focus on boys? These are one of the reasons why we started the We Lead Boys Academy, an online academy where parents can register their boys. And we run this curriculum for about 15 days during the holidays. And trust me, from there we have had to have one-on-one impact sessions with boys who had troublesome background. We have had to work with parents personally who had issues raising these children. I mean, what more can we say? Let's focus on the boys. Then there is a conspiracy of silence. There should be whistle-blowing policies in school, whether boarding or day, for teachers and students. There should be something like a glass door that is for organizations where you can go and leave some kind of comments, information, observation about schools. There should be that system where that whistleblowing policy should be in place. Thank you so much, Alex. I always say that our kids spend more time with the TV. Consequently, the kids model themselves after the character they see in movies. I agree 100%. And okay, Vicky Tommy said, I also went to a boarding school, but wouldn't want my kids to go there. Yes, some people had bad experiences. Trust me, I know. Even adults can be bullied. Best way is to teach your kids to speak and stand for themselves before it gets out of hand. Trust me, the next one I'm going to talk about is that conspiracy of silence. Why are our children quiet? That's a topic on its own. We are going to deal with that topic. Conspiracy of silence. Why do we have children who keep quiet and get to the point of death? Sylvester kept quiet till he was almost taking his last breath. Why did he keep quiet? I know he spoke to his parents about bullying, but why didn't he mention the names earlier? Why? What happened? That conspiracy of silence, we need to break it. We need to break it. How do we break it? We're going to deal with how to break it in another show. And then what I see again is the fact that there is lack of competition. You see a situation where parents are now telling teachers, please don't give them, don't grade them. Don't say somebody came first. Don't give gifts to people who have come first. Don't appreciate performance. Just give everybody a gift. Every child is unique. By all means, every child is unique, but please, let that system of appreciation, of competition remain in school. It's a check. It gets the children busy with productive activities. That lack of competition, of saying give gifts to everybody, whether they fail or pass, is a terrible system. It's a terrible system. Let me give you my own experience. We were invited to a very eyebrow school in Lagos. Trust me, one of the big schools in Lagos, to come and have our character classes with them. And when we got there, my experience, number one, the students, a primary school, very, very noisy. Do you know that head teacher came into that class and they kept on with the noise? No regard, no courtesy. That will not happen in any of the schools I attended. Number two, they had their lunch and left their plates on the floor, on the table, and walked away. One of the teachers started picking these plates. What have we become? What have we become? We have toothless teachers who can't even control what is going on in the school. I'm going to be speaking to the fathers now. And if you are a mother on this program or a woman, it's also good you listen. Dear fathers, do you know the name of your son's teacher? Do you know the name of your daughter's teacher? When last did you go for PTA? When last did you spend time checking their assignments? When last did you have a one-on-one conversation with your children about how they are doing? Do you know their friends? Or you come home and you are busy with your phone and making money? The role of a father, we have emphasized, cannot be overemphasized. The children we deal with at the correctional center, most of them have that missing link between them and their fathers. Fathers present here, what are you going to do differently? What are you going to tell your friends? Your friends who are also fathers who are getting it wrong. Is true fatherhood about just donating your sperm? We have talked about that last week. No, it is not. We have dealt with over 5,000 beneficiaries, and we continue to deal with different people. And our statistics show that the role of the father is key, and that role is missing. If you are interested in enrolling your boys for our program or your girls for our program, you can visit our website www.weleadnetwork.org. And if you want to speak to me directly, or you want to speak to any of our facilitators directly, you can call us on 09098771777. Of course, if you are outside the country, we do our online classes. So you can dial +234 9098 771 Trust me, boys that have gone through that process, gone through our classes, have their parents saying thank you. We know where the gaps are, and we are ready to address it. Thank you so much. Tell me, there's not such system in the Western world. No grading for who is first or last. No gift appreciation. All gifts have special gifts, and it's not all based on academic performance. And yet, all kids have good exit. I disagree with compensation and recognition. Yes, because you are living outside Nigeria, and that is the system that works in that place. It's better you localize what people are used to. When we have double standards in education, we have that issue. I have also lived outside this country, and my children have gone through an American school that was not compensating and was not grading at all. And we coped. But you see, in Nigeria, we have that misalignment. We have that misalignment. So it's better we adopt a single system. Lastly, let me flag this before I leave and forget. Dear government, please withdraw licenses of schools that are operating both day and boarding. I will take that again. No school should operate both day and boarding in the same facility. It is an anomaly that has proven to provide an enabling environment for a lot of decay. The day students are the ones who import cigarettes, drugs, phones, and everything that has been banned in the boarding house to the pupils who reside in school. So please, dear government, look at those licenses. Let schools adopt a single system within a facility. So if you want to have both day and boarding, please do not let them cohabit in the same location. Thank you so much, Vicky Tommy. Keep it up, work Dayo. Thank you so much, Duque. Yes, I know, Duque. Spain, I know. Thank you so much. We'll be bringing you a fresh episode Thursday next week. 10 a.m. WAT, same time. And trust me, we'll be dealing with the topic choices and consequences. Chances, choices, and consequences. Yes, what choices are we going to make? What consequences are we going to face with our choices? My name is Dayo Oladele-Ilori. Remember, perfection is nothing. Be genuine. Thank you so much. So much for joining. Thank you so much for joining, Hioma Zubike Ajayi. Thank you so much, Hioma, for joining. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Kayode Tower, thank you so much for joining. Deliver Curry, thank you so much for joining. And if you joined us from the studio, thank you so much. We appreciate you. This is me signing out. Bye.